Ron Paul in spirit here. We are, and it is such an honor to have been. I feel like I have my voice back since Ron Paul. I literally jumped up and down screaming with joy when Ron Paul announced his bid for presidency, because I had been aware of the man and the message ever since, well, when my political awareness of Ron Paul began with the Patriot Act. And thank God there were 3 people in Congress that opposed the Patriot Act. Ron Paul was one of them. One of, I don't know how many Congress people there are in Washington. 435. Okay. Ron Paul has been given the nickname Dr. No because he has never
given up,
voted for one single bit of legislation that was in opposition to the Constitution. And there have been lots of illegal laws that have been passed, mostly taking away, infringing upon we the people, our rights. I don't know if you guys are aware of the fact that the Constitution was written explicitly to protect us, we the people, from a tyrannical government. And if you need them, there are pocket constitutions back there. They are free. Again, we're just asking for donations. Go ahead, help yourself. Everyone should have them. I admit I am absolutely ignorant, but I am learning. I am learning. There is a cure for ignorance. It's called the red pill, the big red pill. And I swallowed it. It got stuck in my throat, but it's digesting.
Yeah, now you're adjusting on it.
I have put an adjusting too. But anyway, I am not the. I really don't want to take up your time. I really want to turn the mic over to Aaron Jones. He is a phenomenal person. He quit his job December 14th to basically devote his life to furthering and promoting the Ron Paul message. And I'm going to let him speak. I've wasted too much of your time. So I'm going to let him get on, and he's going to talk about his experiences. And I understand there are a lot of people who vote for on Tuesday, and so we hope to actually nail down the coffin and make it a done deal. There is absolutely no doubt in your mind by the time you leave. And so, Aaron, thank you so much for being you and for being part of this revolution that is so vital to to all of us and to this country. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you very much. I want to talk about a really horrible, boring subject called canvassing. I think that's the most important thing we can do. Now, we're almost out of time here for Florida, so I encourage all of you to think about the other states following this primary, those that can maybe go up and help in Georgia. I think that might be something in North Carolina. But canvassing is something that everybody needs to learn to do. One thing we need to do is make sure we get, even if it's just putting something in an envelope, sending an email to their mom and dad, we need to get every Ron Paul supporter to take some sort of action. All of you are activists, you're here. But the more we get our supporters to actually do something, and believe it or not every Ron Paul supporter will actually turn out to vote. We probably won't even get 90% turnout.
You're kidding.
No, that's true. If you look at the statistics, I knocked on doors in New Hampshire. I did knock and drag, which I never heard about that. Was volunteering with the official campaign in New Hampshire. Knocked on a door, and the lady was like, "Well, I voted for John McCain. I was a Ron Paul supporter, but no, that lady never got engaged. She never got engaged into the community of Ron Paul supporters. Her and her husband, they had literature, everything. They actually agree with Ron Paul, but a lot of people go with a herd mentality. They're going to go the way their coworkers. One thing I wanted, who is going to be canvassing tomorrow? And I'd like to. I'm not an expert or anything, but I've picked up a lot of things. Number one, knock on the door. This is one thing I do. Knock on the door.
Knock, knock.
Knock, knock. I'm out canvassing for the upcoming primary. It's really important. I'm really concerned about our country, where it's headed. Are you registered to vote Republican? I think you probably need to ask that here. Is that correct? I haven't done that before. You probably should ask that first. Don't just leave a Democrat. A Democrat can actually spread the message. There's a lot of Democrats who aren't going to be able to vote for him who actually have signs and are spreading the message. I don't say close the door. I'd say if it's a Democrat, talk to him for about maybe 60 seconds. Talk to him a little bit, but move on. Okay. Number two, don't mention. I wouldn't mention Ron Paul. I wouldn't even wear my button myself. But that's me. Make your own choice. Number two, what issue? I'd like to ask you a question. Real sincere. Don't ask for permission. Just say, I'd like to ask you a question. Don't wait for an answer. Launch into it. What issue is important to you in this primary? Once you've done that from your heart, you've given them a chance. If they let their guard down and give you an honest answer, there you go. You got them, basically. And a large percentage of them you do. Doesn't mean they'll actually even vote for them, but you've got them. They let their guard down. You'll find a lot of people who even think they're liberals, issue after issue, they'll line up with Ron Paul. So get their cards first. Let them lay down their cards first. What issues are important to you in this upcoming primary? Immigration. Okay, you have the Slim Jims ready, hopefully. You have that little divider packet, some sort of thing. So get what issue is important to them. Then immediately you're able to approach them with their issue. If they're more liberal, there's that general flyer which doesn't have Reagan's picture on it. You don't want to give somebody a picture of Reagan if you're talking to them. You know. So that's the main thing. Closing the deal. Closing the deal with your friends. You need to gently go for a commitment. Don't just say, well, I hope you'll consider it. Slam the door. They're not going to vote for Ron Paul. You need to, and it takes practice, and I don't know how to do it yet either, but I've gotten more successful. And it's not pestering, but it's keep on talking to them. They'll say, well, I'll think about it. Just yesterday I was at a cafe, and the waitress and a lady in the place, by the end, they said, I'm going to vote for Ron Paul. Now, I don't quite understand how it happened, but it happened by me knowing in my mind that I wasn't going to leave them until they committed, because they already went positive. Once they go positive, stay with them until they commit. Because if they give you their word, they're more likely to do it. If weak support will do what that lady that voted for McCain did in New Hampshire. Weak support. There's actually anti-war. Large percentage of anti-war vote went to McCain and the Romney. People don't even know. People don't even know. So this part, this is the intellectual revolution first. That's something that somebody said in Charleston. I think that makes sense. This is where it's an educational campaign. We don't know if we're going to win, but so I just want to leave you with those little points. That's basically all I have to say. So close the deal. Go for a commitment. Say, I encourage you to do this. Would you be willing to vote for Ron Paul in the Constitution? Close with something. It'll be awkward at first, but I encourage you to be bold. And you might want to work up to that point. But I encourage you, as you leave the canvas, go for some sort of commitment and take down their phone number and their email. If you're willing to get it, you need to get that into the headquarters. I don't know if they're too active here because I think the Ron Paul campaign didn't do too much. But you need to get out the vote. Now's the time, GOTVs, get out the vote. Another thing, every Ron Paul supporter, including everybody in here you talk to, tell them, make sure that 2 or 3 people, hopefully more, that you're bringing to the polls with you. If we do that, we'll more than double our outcome. Remember, not every Ron Paul supporter will even show up. There's going to be Ron Paul supporters that forget. It's just statistically true. It's terrible. But so even the people you think that are in your meetup group, everybody needs to be called and annoyed the hell out of them, and told if everybody brings somebody with them, we'll more than double our outcome. So that's all I have to say. And by the way, I have a band called Radio Friendly Songs by American Pirates on MySpace. That's /American Pirates. And I've been with the Ron Paul Blimp. That's another long story, but it's only a week and a half. I've been on my own dime in New Hampshire and all over. And just by chance, I went to a community where the Blimp was and stayed with some supporters. Supporters have been amazing. Christina has put me up. It's awesome. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
And so fate has landed me on this great adventure. And keep going after this primary. Those that you can, you need to support the other states. Missouri, California, on and on and on. Georgia, North Carolina. Keep going. Thanks. Thank you very much.